Hello, I'm David Skvor, artist and author of the book The Trinity of Art. In the last episode I said I was going to take you to a secret place and that you've all been there. Well, here it is. It's Corner Inlet on the Gippsland coast in Victoria, Australia. Now, I'm going to take you there. But I'm going to tell a story. That's how I'm going to do it. This is probably the worst painting I've ever done. But as it's turned out, it's one of my best. In my quiver of painting, this could be one of my sharpest arrows. And I'm going to start the story. Now there's a scripture out there that says that the stone the builders rejected become the most important of all. This painting's a bit like that, the ugly duckling, we all know the fable. Anyway, the story. One day my wife had to go down to Gippsland to meet another lady they had a business meeting, and she said, "Will you come?" I said, "Yeah, no worries." So in the back of my truck I threw the easel, this is the very one, some paints, I use acrylic, and a canvas board which I made. So off we go. Dropped Kate off and I said, well, I'll go and do a painting. I'll find a spot out there and do something on plein air or whatever they call it, like impressionists, very fancy. So drop Kate off, I sneak off, find a little bush track, and there's a beach. And that's what it is, Corner Inlet. So anyway, sneak in there, have a look around, and there's people down the beach down there. So well, I don't want to be there. Look up this way. So that looks like the spot. Now I know the tide's coming in, so there's a bit of pressure there. I'm thinking, righto. So drove up the beach, went a bit further, come back, and said, yeah, this is about right. Now, when I get to a place and I'm painting out in the environment, I know this is going to sound dumb, but I'll go over here and I'll go over there and I'll walk back there and then I'll come here and then I'll go here and I say, that's the spot. It's got the juju. This is it here. It's like a water diviner, he walks around, boom. Now, I can't explain that, but I sort of equate it to my dog. Sometimes sitting there and he'll come along and he'll start digging a hole. And he digs it from this way, then he digs it from that way, then he runs around there digging. There's stuff flying everywhere and you watch him and he's got this big hole and he'll go plonk, sit over there. I don't know why he does that either. So anyway, that's my spot. X marks the spot. And sometimes I think about, when you sign your painting, these paintings outside, I've often thought, maybe I should do a GPS coordinate, probably need a machine for that, and write that on there. So if you went back 100 years from now, you could be on the exact same spot. Well, I haven't done that, so you might have to take the divining rod with you. All right, now something about painting when you go outside. Remember that the dream you hear about, that you're standing there naked in front of everyone? Well, that's what it's like when you take your easel out there. You stutter and you cover up, you feel naked. You're taking something deep from within in you and putting it outside for everyone to see. So that's probably one of the reasons I didn't want to be down the beach where those people were. All right, so let's get cracking. Water's coming in. I've got my car parked, so I don't want to get bogged, so I can get out if I have to. So I'm under a bit of pressure. Kate's in a meeting. Don't know how long I've got. Don't know how wrapped up in this painting I'm going to get. So out come the paints. I started splashing the paint around. And I was going pretty quick. I was under a bit of pressure, as I said. The weather was hot. I use acrylic paints. My paints are drying almost on the brush, trying to get it on there. And then I've got paint all over me. I've got rags that I'm trying to clean things. I've got water. Nothing's working. It's all going wrong. Anyway, I'm in a bit of a, it's not a calm, beautiful, serene. Like I've said in my book, painting's not therapy. Yeah, that's probably all I can say on that. Anyway, so I'm splashing around. I'm in the zone, in the snow dome. I'm blah, blah, blah. Everything's going wrong. And a couple walks past. So they're in my space. All right, so you just sort of pause and wait. And off they go. Back to it. And then they come back. Now, it's like when you put your towel on the beach over there. There's miles beach. Someone puts their towel right next to you. So the bloke walks up and goes, "You paint just like Bob Ross. I've been watching you." I said, nah. He said, "Nah, that's exactly what he does." I said, "All right, fair enough." Bit chuffed, but thought, anyway, on your way, quick. Anyway, everything's going wrong. It's all gone pear-shaped. That's it. Pack it up. This painting is a disaster. Okay. Chuck it in the back of the truck. Get going. Go and pick Kate up. And I know everything's wrong here. I might get back to that later because... oh no, I'll tell you now. Everything's wrong, right? I've painted the clouds blue, or clouds are white. See? I've just gone, that's the clouds. I've gone bang, bang, bang. There's a big, I suppose, range over there, which I believe is Wilson's Prom National Park. So it should be in the distance with the Australian bush and the eucalypts transpiring. It should be a soft hazy blue with gentle greens coming down. The water, well, you can see the pressure, I can feel it coming, but really dark blue, that ain't right. The sand is white. Well, the sand's yellow. Sand over here is the wrong yellow. Everything's wrong. There's a smudge I got going here, thinking I might do the sun coming up, you know, real romantic. Anyway, in the back of the truck, go and see Kate, go to pick her up, and Kate goes, "How'd you go?" All right. "Give us a look." I said, no, you don't, it's okay. She goes, "Give us a look." She goes, You know that I reckon, I think I said too. I knew it. It was, I got a mate of mine, this is a side adjunct to it, and he said, "What'd you miss a thing of that painting?" Not this one in particular, but other ones. I said, "I got the He said, "Man, that's going to be a good painting." Now, you probably thought I was gone. No, I was just turning the page. All right, get home. Put the painting in the studio. Could have thrown it, you know. Could have put it on the fire. Didn't. Put it back on this easel, down the back end. Wasn't very proud of myself. Wasting my time. Didn't want to do anything with it. Thought, you're a rookie. You're no good at this. Anyway, painter kept looking at me. He said, "Come and play." I said, "What?" "Come and play." All right. Went down, got the painting, threw it on the big easel, the one I work from, the rack, the torture rack, maybe you could call it. Anyway, I started fiddling around with this green here. This is wrong. Everything's wrong. Anyway, probably spent an hour doodling around with this. And you can see I've blended certain greens. Well, that ain't right. It reminds me of one of those kitsch posters in the 1970s where you got those fluorescent greens. And so it's wrong. But the eye, I know it's wrong. My heart knows it's wrong. My eyes should know it's wrong. But it's not wrong. Anyway, I'm disgusted. Back on this easel, back in the end of the thing. I said, I'm not playing with it anymore. Painting looks at me and says, come and play. I said, I'm not wasting time on you. You know when you went to primary school and you did a painting and it wasn't quite right, so you had a bit more paint. Still not right, so you had a bit more. And then going crazy, adding more and more and more, chasing your mistakes, trying to fix them. And you end up with this big grey blob or brown or whatever. That's straight to the bin. Well, I didn't want to invest in this anymore. You've torn my heart out. I don't want to play. Come and play. Painting says come and play. I can't even look at this painting, but it keeps looking at me. Come and play. Okay. Put it back on the rack, the torture rack. Add this blue to the outline. It's got to stand out somehow. Now that's Prussian blue. That is all wrong. That is all wrong. And there's like, I've tried to make little flicks of, things here and there. Anyway, back on the rack. Don't like you. Just come and play. Come and play a bit more. Okay. Put it on the rack. Started fiddling around with these browns and greens and this yellow, and then tried to get some sort of action happening there. Spent a lot of time fiddling, knowing all the time everything I'm doing is wrong, the process is wrong, the technique's wrong. Nothing makes sense. Put it back on the rack, on the easel, back of the studio. Turn the page again. Don't want to get tricked by all that technical stuff. Okay. What's happened? I can't take my eyes off this painting. It's finished now. It's become immortal. It's untouchable. All that fiddling I did, the painting said stop when I was in there. And then a realisation occurred to me. Imagination had kicked in. And I equate it to playing with toy soldiers. The painting had drawn me in. Kids, and they get their toy soldiers and throw them on the floor. Playing with toy soldiers is a safe place. It's a place of greens and browns, a familiar place. A kid throws his toys on the ground. It might be cars. And this soldier, but the floor's brown. Or it might be dirt. And this one's hiding over here. And it's on a mound in his mind. This tank's going here. It's going to cross a river. And there's a row of people hiding here. Kid doesn't see anything. His eyes don't see anything except what his imagination's saying. It's like kids in the backyard, they're playing war games. And one kid's hiding. And he's hiding behind a blade of grass. Nobody can see me. Well, one kid's on the roof, thinks he's Superman. He's going to jump. And that's that place I've taken you to. We've all been there. It's imagination. So Now when I look at this painting, I can't take my eyes off it. Because what happens, and I'm talking about tricking the eye, every little place is a secret nook and cranny. I can't see any faults. Even though my mind knows everything's wrong, everything's right. I can place myself anywhere in this painting. And that's really weird. So, as I was saying, it's like toy soldiers. You go in, you come out. So the kids play in the backyard. Suddenly mum says, time for dinner, and the dinner bell rings. They just snap out of it. They're back in reality. Weird thing. Time for you to go. I've got to go too. Hopefully I'll see you in the next episode.